Hi there, welcome to this tutorial. Today I'm going to show you how to achieve this look, which is inspired by the Queen of Hearts. So I'm wearing a fascinator here, which I've made myself. And yeah, so as you can see, this is the look. So stay tuned and I'll show you how to recreate this. Hi, okay, so obviously I just have my base on now. I've got primer on my skin. Which I will put a full product listing on the blog afterwards. So I've got primer, I'm wearing foundation, and I've done a little bit of contouring. As you can see, I've done a little bit on my cheeks here. I am planning to do a tutorial on how I contour. However, I am going to be using quite a dark blush later on, so if you don't contour or you haven't done it before or you're unsure, don't worry about it. We're going to use blush anyway, so it's just something I like to do just to make sure that the look is really strong, but you absolutely do not have to do it at all. Okay, so I'm going to start off, I'm going to do my brows first, just to kind of get the shape going. So I'm going to take my Anastasia brush and I'm just going to give them a little bit of a tweak. Just to create a nice shape. And I'm going to do my brows, I'm just using this cheap eyebrow pencil. I'm going to do my brows a little bit stronger than I would normally do them, a bit more defined, because the Queen of Hearts does have quite a defined look and I want to look quite sharp. So here we go. Sorry about that, my camera just ran out of room. So, okay, here we go. So I'm going to carry on just doing this brow quite defined and strong. You could, if you wanted to, you could cover your brows and kind of draw some really kind of arched, kind of black, you know, kind of with eyeliner you could do that really dramatic look, but I just don't know if that's always necessary. So at the front here, normally I would fade my brows, I would put product on, and I would use the spoolie end of my Anastasia brush to spread the product out, but today I'm going to do it a little heavier. Okay, so as you can see, obviously I would never have my eyebrows like this normally, but as you can see it's dramatic, but without being too theatrical. I like to do this kind of look because it's not too Halloween-y, it's not too kind of full face paint. So you can still look sexy and still, it's a very wearable look, I think. Okay, so these eyebrows are looking pretty intense, and obviously I'll come back to them later on and do some highlighting, etc. But for now I'm just going to leave them. So the next thing I'm going to do is do my eyeshadow. So the Queen of Hearts obviously wears, or the one in the Tim Burton film, she wears blue eyeshadow, and I think the blue eyeshadow red lips quite a fun thing to do. Obviously it's something people laugh about now and say, oh, blue eyeshadow, but it can actually look really cool, and in the 70s it was really popular. So I have some quite blue shadows here, which I will show you in a second when I get to them. But first of all we need to do my base, so I'm gonna just use some neutral tones just to apply base, I'm going to use a little bit of brown just to create, so that when we apply the blue, it doesn't look kind of like garage door eyes, so it blends nicely. So I'm just going to take a pale colour and just on. I'm using this palette, so it's just this one here. But anything will do, anything neutral you can use, you know, anything kind of a pale skin colour would be fine. Okay, and then go ahead and do exactly the same thing on the other side. Okay, so now I'm going to take a slightly darker tone, but it's not too dark. And this is going to create kind of like a buffer between the blue and the rest of the eye. So I'm just taking this colour here, this one, which is again pretty neutral colour. And I'm just going to apply that. Okay, so then just do the other side, exactly the same. I'm just doing it slightly, just slightly above my crease. I have really small eyelids, which obviously gives me a massive case of the sads because I like to wear nice eyeshadow. But it's just one of those things, I just have small eyelids. I don't know why, it's just the way I'm made. So I have to like sometimes make a crease, make it bigger, just so I can get more of the product on there. So just go ahead and I'm just going to blend this out a little bit. Okay, so now we have our kind of base done for the eyeshadow. I'm going to go in with this colour, and this looks like a slightly scary colour, but I think it's going to be fine, to be honest. So this is the colour that I'm going in with. One second. Okay, so I'm going in with this blue here, and this is called Peace, and it's from Urban Decay. Urban Decay do really cool colours, and because we're doing a really bright colour, and obviously we've already done our face, I'm just going to use a little piece of toilet paper, just folded in half, and we're just going to use that just so that you don't get basically blue underneath your eyes. So I'm just going to take this blue, which is absolutely beautiful. It's like a peacock blue, it's gorgeous. You can actually get sticky things that stick into your eyes, but I think that a piece of toilet paper works just fine. And we're just going to start applying that onto the lid. You can see here I've actually got some underneath my eye, which I'm going to have to dust off shortly. But there we go. So just apply that so that you get a nice thick coverage. You don't have to use the same colour. You might want to go for a more sky blue or a duck egg blue or a different blue. You could do anything you wanted, really. It's totally up to you. I like this colour and it's one that I have, and I think it works well. Okay, and I'm just going to take a fluffy brush and just buff the edges out a little bit and soften those. Okay, right, I'm going to sort out this under eye before I start the other side, so I'll be back in a sec. Okay, so now that's sorted out, I'm going to start on the other side. So I'm going to grip the tissue paper a little bit tighter this time. And then I'm going back in with that same colour, which is Peace by Urban Decay. Okay, not as much residue this time. So as you can see, we've got the nice blue on there, and then we've blended that out with the brown colour. Okay, and we are actually going to go under a little bit as well, so this doesn't matter too much. I'm going to apply a little bit. Just clean up that line a little bit. If you wanted to make this really sharp, you could actually apply sellotape to the corners of the eyes, so that you can get a really, really sharp look. Okay, so now I'm going to take this brush, which is, I don't even know where this brush is from, but it's just kind of like an angled brush, and I'm going to take a little bit of that same blue, just going to dust off a little bit of excess, and we're just going to go underneath the bottom lashes. Just to put a little bit of that colour under there. This looks pretty, I think. And then when you've done that, just dust the brush off. And I'm just going to go back in with that brown colour and just put a little bit of the brown under there as well. Okay, so now you should have some beautiful blue eyelids. And just looking for my brush. I'm going to give that a last little blend. Okay, so now I'm going to do we're just going to put a little bit of highlighter on the under the brow bone, and I'm using this one, which is Makeup Revolution, and I use this palette a lot actually. I don't actually do a lot of highlighting, to be honest. I just tend to do a little bit on my cheeks, but this colour, which is really, I'll do a little swatch, you can see it's really shiny, and it's actually quite opaque, and because this is obviously a going out look, we can be a little bit more dramatic than normally. So I'm just going to wipe off this brush. Okay. I'm just going to take that colour, that really light colour, and we're just going to do the brow bone. So when you're doing your brow bone, you need to think. So this is a rule for any time. This is where you should highlight. So anywhere you can see between, there we go. That's where you highlight. So let's get that colour. You could also, if you wanted to make this really dramatic, you could also go underneath here with like a lighter foundation to give it that kind of Anastasia Beverly Hills look, but I kind of think the Queen of Hearts wouldn't bother with that sort of thing. She's too busy chopping people's heads off. And as you can see, it's really shiny. It's really good. This is actually a really good palette, the Makeup Revolution palette. I love it. It's really good. Really economical and very useful. So you can see, looking slightly more like a Disney villainess now. And just do the same on the other side, just where that arches. Okay, so that's both sides done. So now let's go in with the liquid liner, and I'm going to give my queen some kind of nice flicked out winged lines. So I'm using this, which is, I use this in nearly all my videos. This is Makeup Gallery, and it's £1 from the Poundland, and it's so good. It's such a fine brush, I love it. Really good formula, stays on all day, black. It is what it is, it's good stuff. So it depends on how you do eyeliner. I like to start in the middle. And you can obviously make this flick as dramatic or as kind of subtle as you want. But because she's a queen, I'm gonna really have fun with it. So as you can see, it's still a little bit wet, but as you can see, I've done it quite thick. But I'm quite happy with that. I think that she would wear quite thick. Okay, that's one side done. So now is the tricky part, is when you have to get the other side exactly the same. So let's see. Okay, so sorry, my camera stopped recording. So we're going to go in with, I've done the eyeliner on my bottom line and a little bit on the lower lashes and just on the waterline, and then now we're going to take my eyelash curler. I'm going to give my lashes a little squeeze. Okay, and then I'm just going to give them a good coating with black mascara. This one's Benefit Bad Girl. Really is my favourite mascara of all time. I do think it's the best one. And I will be applying eyelashes, but I like to do this last after I've done all of my other makeup. Okay, so they're nice and coated. Right, so now we're going to do some blush. So as I said earlier, we're going to do quite a dark blush. I wouldn't normally use anything this dark, and this is kind of a mixture between blush and bronzer. So this is from Emite, and it is, doesn't actually say, 108 powder blush. So I'm just gonna take it, and I've got just like an angled contour brush here, and it's very, very dark, but obviously we want quite a good effect. So as I said earlier, if you haven't contoured, it doesn't matter because we're going to do it with blush anyway. So I'm just going to turn to the side so you can see, and I want to kind of create a, I want to kind of do this kind of scooping so it looks kind of like I've got really pronounced cheekbones. I'll get that on and then I'll blend out the colour underneath. Okay, so as you can see, that looks ridiculous, and I'm going to blend that out now. So I'm just going to get a large powder brush and just going to give that a blend out underneath. Okay, so it's still harsh, but it's softer than it was, and it gives that kind of very kind of defined kind of cheek bone going on. And I will do a little bit of highlight actually as well now. So this time I'm gonna go for, actually maybe I will use it. So obviously with this palette you've got two. So you've got this one which is much more kind of normal, and then you've got obviously this crazy one. Let's go for the crazy one because Queen of Hearts is pretty crazy to be honest. So As you can see, he's looking chiseled. Okay, so now I'm going to start doing my lips. So I'm using 2 different lipsticks and a lip liner. So the lip liner that I'm using is MAC and it is called Red. And I'm just going to go ahead and line my lips. If you wanted to give this, again, the theatrical look, you could just do the lips here. You could cover all your lips with foundation and then do a kind of very pronounced heart on your lips. But again, if you want to go out, it's okay if you don't mind getting really into fancy dress, but if you just want to be a little bit more subtle or a little bit more wearable, then I'm just going to do like an ombre lip. So we're going to do red with like a kind of dark cherry red. So this is just the lip liner part. Okay, and then just colour your lips in with the lip liner. Okay. So now your lips should be completely coloured in with lip liner. So next we're going to take our lipstick, and I'm using MAC Russian Red. This is my absolute favourite lipstick in the world. I love it. I was going to use Ruby Woo for this, which is a redder red, but it's quite drying. So just paint that on. Don't worry at this point if you've gone wrong anywhere, because we're going to go back round it with the lip liner anyway. Okay, so once you're happy with the coverage, go back around with your lip liner, and what I like to do is I like to sharpen my lip liner so that it's really crisp and so that I can get a really good finish. So just go back around your lips with the lip liner. Okay. Okay, so now you've done the lipsticks, or the first 2 lipsticks. Just clean off your brush. I always use a brush for applying lipstick. And I'm going to go in with this one, which is a really dark colour. And this is called Black Cherry, and this is from Revlon. I don't know where that's from. So again, just take the brush, but just really load the brush up with a ton of product. Okay, so then now what we're going to do is just do the corners of this lipstick with this cherry colour. So just keep building it up until it's a shade that you're happy with. Okay, so once you've got it as you want it, just wipe off that brush and then just blend it in. And then what I'm going to do is actually take a little bit more of the Russian red and just blend it out so that the corners are just that little bit darker than the centre. Okay, so now I'm going to put some lashes on and curl my hair, and then I'll show you the hair piece that I made to go with this look. Okay, so as you can see, I've put some lashes on and I've really roughly curled my hair. And what I'm going to do is I'm just going to take one of these, I don't know what this is called, and I'm just going to kind of just brush through my hair a little bit, just make it bigger. And if you wanted to, you could put some back combing into it or something like that. You could make it really, really big and crazy. I'm just trying to break some of those curls up because obviously the Queen of Hearts is slightly deranged. And then just before we finish, I'm going to just do a heart. She has, I think she has a beauty spot in one of her films, but yeah, I have a beauty spot just here. So I'm just going to do a tiny heart. So you can see little heart there. And then to finish the outfit off, I've made this. I'm actually really, really pleased with this. It's come out better than I thought it would. This is a fascinator which I've made, which is a teacup that I've made completely out of playing cards. And if you want to know how to make this, I didn't do a YouTube tutorial. I took photographs because it would have been too complicated, I think, to do it. So I did, yeah, I just took loads of photographs and I've done a step-by-step tutorial. It's really simple, really, really cheap to make, and yeah, I hope you like it. So yeah, I hope you've enjoyed this tutorial. If you want to check out how to make this, you can go on my blog, which is trickylittlecorset.com. So check it out, it's on there. It was just uploaded recently, so you'll be able to find it. And yeah, I hope you enjoy it. So if you like this tutorial, give me a thumbs up, leave a comment. And yeah, okay, thanks for watching. Bye!